everyone. It's Debra Poneman, founder of Yes to Success, where we share knowledge and tools for you to live your ultimate life, ageless, anti aging for your brain, body, and future, and the Awake Method, because it's time for all of us to, you guessed it, wake up and more. Today, I am coming to you live from Scottsdale, Arizona, where I was invited to be a speaker at a fabulous event called Relaunch, hosted by created by an amazing woman named Hillary D. How do you say her last name? D. Caesars. Caesars, that's how you say it. Actually, I just got back from a gold carpet event where we danced until they shut the ballroom down, and I thought, I am sleeping in tomorrow. So I'm recording this on Friday night. Anyway, at this relaunch event, I actually spoke not about success, but about slowing, stopping, and even reversing aging of the brain and body. And I was shocked at how the women in this packed room were just floored when I told them things that I teach in my ageless program that I kind of thought most people knew. But after their reaction, I thought, I want to tell everybody in my Success Saturday community about this stuff for your health and longevity, just in case you don't know about it either. For example, if you can only do one thing in your diet for better health and longevity, I think I've told you this before, but stop eating white refined sugar. It is one of the worst offenders when it comes to brain and body inflammation, which leads to your body and brain atrophying or aging at an accelerated rate. White refined sugar and foods that act the same in your system, like refined carbs, white bread, white pasta, they're causing the inflammation that causes the brain neurons to retract, thus slowing down the communication between brain cells because they can no longer communicate. And it causes you to feel foggy and dull and not remember things like, what was I just going to say? Or where you parked your car in the crowded mall parking lot. And long-term brain inflammation is serious because eventually neurons start to die off. So this plays a significant role in Alzheimer's and dementia, as well as so many other degenerative diseases in the body, including diabetes and cardiovascular disease, arthritis, osteoporosis, even some cancers. So, again, sugar and refined carbs that act like sugar in your body cause inflammation. Inflammation causes your brain cells to lose their ability to communicate, and eventually they could start dying off. And by the way, even when you're in your 20s, 30s, or even your teens, or even little kids, their minds cannot function optimally if they start their day with, sugar pops. Do they even have those anymore? Or Pop Tarts. If people would only stop giving kids those foods with white refined sugar and soft drinks and cookies at lunch, and then they get upset because the kids can't concentrate, brain cells not able to communicate. And then they get reprimanded for ADD behavior and not being able to concentrate. And then they give the kids pharmaceuticals to help their concentration. Why don't you just stop giving them the things that are causing it in the first place? They can't think because the sugar you're giving them has that effect on their brains. Anyway, so I recommended that people start using sugar substitutes like organic stevia or monk fruit, but be careful that the first ingredient in your monk fruit is not erythritol, because it is just as harmful for the brain and the body, more the body, than white sugar. Or date sugar is a good substitute, or coconut palm sugar. Even, I say this with a little bit of hesitancy, but I'll say it anyway. Um, Even raw, organic, unprocessed cane sugar does not cause inflammation in the same way white refined sugar does. But also, honey in moderation, maple syrup in moderation, but don't be fooled by sugar in the raw or brown sugar. It's just white sugar with a tad of molasses left in that gives it that brown color. So they're scamming you if they're trying to tell you it's more healthy. And you can enjoy delicious foods. I mean, these days you could go to any grocery store and get cakes and pies and cookies sweetened with the aforementioned sweeteners. There's a company called Chalk Zero that sweetens all of its treats with monk fruit. You can get it online. And you can make delicious cakes and pies and all kinds of goodies sweetened without white refined sugar. My friends made me a fabulous cake for my 73rd birthday, and it was sweetened with fruit juice and just a little bit of organic monk fruit. That's what I made for my kids' birthdays when they were little. I mean, they're now, what, 38? No, 37 and 34. But I sweeten their birthday cakes with applesauce or mashed bananas or a little bit of stevia. And they and their friends, they didn't know the difference. They just gobbled it up just like they would do with the cake from Costco. But buyer beware before you swap refined sugar for artificial sweeteners like aspartame or what's it called, twin sugar twin. Those yellow packets and blue packets and pink packets. Sucralose, I think it's called Splenda, advertised as natural. It is not natural. It is processed. I could go into the processing. I won't right now. Just trust me. These are even worse at causing brain inflammation and have been linked to everything from memory loss to infertility to migraine headaches, even autoimmune disease has been proven scientifically to be aggravated in people who overload their systems with those artificial sweeteners, not to mention an increased risk of obesity because those artificial sweeteners suppress the satiety reaction, which is the feeling of fullness you get when you've eaten enough. So you're satisfied and you stop eating. Those sugar substitute suppress that satiety reaction. And even the American Diabetes Association and the American Heart Association have issued statements about the risks of using artificial sweeteners. But what really blew everyone's mind in the room here at Relaunch 2025 was an important tip about anti-aging, and they were all shocked. I think you know about this, but maybe you don't because it's something that you do every day and you're actually doing it right now, and it's one of the most insidious causes of aging. Can you guess what it is? You're doing it right now. Science is saying it's one of the worst causes of aging of the skin. Have you guessed yet? Well, here's a hint. It also does damage to your eyes. Yep, it is the light coming out of your computer screen, and it's called blue light. And blue light is in addition to the EMFs that we are swimming in, which is the topic for another day. But the light comes off the screens of our device. It's called blue light, and it's known to have really severe long-term health effects. Even the health letter of the Harvard Medical School back in July of 2020, you could look it up, said blue light can affect your sleep, your immune system, and potentially cause, and I quote, disease including cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. And studies also say that continued exposure to blue light over time could lead to damaged retinal cells and eventually to vision problems like age-related macular degeneration and even blindness. And blue light exposure is of particular concern for our children because their developing eyes absorb more blue light than adults, putting them at greater risk of long-term damage. In fact, some researchers say that macular degeneration and blindness are going to be two of the biggest health concerns when our kids who spend hours a day in front of computers in our kids who spend hours a day in front of their computers exposing their eyes to blue light. when they become adults. Some of the other potential diseases associated with blue light are headaches, suppression of our body's melatonin production, which you know is a sleep hormone. So your sleep isn't as profound. So you want to turn off your computer at least an hour before you go to sleep. So, how do you counteract the effects of blue light? We have to keep using our computers. Well, number one, you can, where are my oh, I know where my blue light blockers are. They're in the bathroom because I took them off when I put on my contacts. But wearing blue light blocking glasses, which I do all the time when I'm in front of my computer, except when I'm speaking to you, when I take them off, because I don't want my ring light to be reflected in the glasses. However, you can also, especially for your children who probably won't want to wear blue light blocking glasses, you want to put a blue light blocking screen on their computer or phone or tablet or all of the above. And you also want to put a blue light blocking screen, even if you do wear blue blocker glasses, because, drum roll please, because the blue light that emits from your computer screen has been shown to cause skin damage. So, believe it or not, if you don't put a blue blocker screen, you will want to put on sunscreen with an SPF of 40 at least if you're in front of the computer for long stretches of time. Shocker. As a matter of fact, I have a quote for you from dermatologist Dr. Stephanie Williams, who was quoted in an article in Bazaar magazine, who said this: "We are now seeing increasing data on the potential long term harm of blue light on our skin. Our digital devices are swiftly being labeled the silent agers of our generation." Another quote from Dr. Murad. He's the dermatologist. He has his own skincare line, and with his name. And he said, quote, in the same article, spending 4 8-hour work days in front of a computer exposes you to the same amount of skin damaging energy as 20 minutes lying in the strong midday sun. And you're not going to do that if you want to have beautiful skin into your 50s, 60s, or 70s, like me. So get yourself and your kids blue light blocking screens. I'll put a link, as a matter of fact, to my favorite company in the space below my video, because this company offers medical grade glasses and screens. So you're not playing potluck with your precious eyes because you don't really know what you're getting when you order some screen on Amazon. So I know that this is probably not my most uplifting success Saturday, but again, when I saw the woman at this event, when I saw their jaws drop when I told them about blue light, I thought, I'm not sure my success Saturday friends know about this. And you know that I care about you a lot, and your kids and your grandkids. So there you have it. So have a good week. I had a good week with the Indiana Fever winning the first round of the WNBA playoffs. Thank you for your prayers. They won against the Atlanta Dream. They were the underdog. They were the Bad News Bears. It was like a miracle. So, and also thank you for your supportive comments this past week about girls in sports. Team sports really are great for girls. They give the girls a safe, supportive space to discover their strengths. And over time, this confidence transfers off the field into, or the court, into academics and leadership roles. This is all proven by science and personal relationships. Actually, playing on a team creates a built-in circle of friends and a feeling of belonging. And the bonds formed in sports often become a source of lifelong friendships. And by the way, studies also show that girls who play sports are more likely to have healthier lifestyles, stronger academic outcomes, and greater career achievement later on, especially when they have a great coach. So, boo for blue light, yay for girl sports, and pray for the Indiana Fever to show the world what the underdog team can do. And then, when they play unselfishly and with profound love and camaraderie with each other. And the next game is tomorrow. And I hope you watch and cheer on the Fever. Okay, Love you all. See you next week. Bye for now.